I'm just trying to be consistent with the time since we're supposed to start at 7. What's happening? Hi, I'm CHAR. I am a loving, passionate, and creative human being, indigenous to the exotic island of Jamaica, West Indies. My name, Charmaine, was handpicked by the divine, for I am the quintessence of its core meaning, singer, song, delight. The ultimate purpose of my platform is to transform lives by empowering people to embrace the greatness within and impact the world for the better. Kennery Kent Smith grew up in a city that has seemingly produced more successful low-end groove makers per capita than any city in the world. Kennery has worked hard to become one of Chicago's best. A 25-year music industry veteran, Kennery is part of a rich tradition of world-class Chicago bassists. His performance resume showcases the Chi-Town musical trademarks of talent, hustle, and versatility to work in any musical genre. Sharice Red, raised in the near west suburbs of Chicago, Sharice graduated from Proviso West High School and earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in marketing at Columbia College. Sharice birthed the persona Chicago Red, created from the first 3 letters of her name, her pronoun, and the town she loves. From this persona, Sharice wants to provide commentary on a variety of topics such as dating over 50, where does the 50-plus crowd hang out, and elder parent care, among other things, from the perspective of a woman. She enjoys quiet time at home alone. She says, if you can't enjoy being alone with yourself, who can? Will Howard, versatility, passion, and creativity are words that describe bassist, composer, producer Will Howard. Chicago-based, but nationally and internationally seasoned bassist, Will's unique combination of gospel roots, formal study, and wide-ranging musical interests have allowed him to work with a wide variety of artists. Jazz and commercial music major, and minored in philosophy at Roosevelt University. He brings his life experiences to the discussion as a source of empowerment. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Patricia. Welcome.
Hi, Char.
Hi.
Listening in.
All right. Thank you for joining. Let's see. We're still waiting for Kennery. I'm going to ask you guys to share the link, if you would, to your pages. It's on my page. So if you want to share it from there, there's Kennery. He's coming in. Yes, so if you want to share, what did you say?
Don't let me be the only man.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, I was about to say, be scared, Will.
He's shaking. He's shaking.
Me and Sharice been fighting on for 2 days.
We are not fighting. We are having adult banter.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, the link.
That's what all you abusers say.
No abusing going on here. So yeah, the link is on my page if you guys don't mind sharing. Oh, and it's also, he put it in the chat.
Oh, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome. Hello, Sandy's logging in. Kennery, hey Sandy, if all the anybody in the audience, if you could keep your video off until, if you have a question, then we'll take you off. You can come off and turn your video back on. But in order to keep the panel. Kennery, where are you?
I'm here. I'm just making some adjustments.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't save your like if I go into my Zoom app on the computer, it doesn't save the password. It saves the link, but not the password. So.
Yeah, I had some issues with Zoom too. I don't know. It's always something.
You should.
Always something with Zoom. I said it's always something with Zoom.
Always.
What
I
you
mean,
should
it's only
do
been
is find out what your password is and then copy it and save it. So in case you have a problem with the link, you just give them the password.
okay. So we're gonna wait until Kennery gets situated.
Yeah.
There he is. A face. A face.
Or something like that.
All right. So this is gonna be an interesting topic.
Oh, Jesus.
The list.
I would be quiet the whole night.
No, you can't do that. That's not possible.
Right.
Let's
Remember,
see.
I was the little kid that was quiet in the room observing, so I can do that.
All right. So yeah, I remember one. It's such an honor. Thank you, Will and Kennery, for introducing me to this beautiful queen. She looks incredible.
Cherie, which is funny. I have met her in person, but she doesn't remember me because it was at the Cotton Club years and years ago. But
that was decades ago.
We didn't meet. We just, a lot of stuff happened at the Cotton Club. We're not going to talk about it because there are lawsuits pending.
Oh, okay. Okay. We're gonna keep it moving.
Actually, we have known each other for almost 30 years.
Wow.
We based it off of his oldest daughter's age.
Oh,
right.
Is that what that is? Well, it's nice to have friendships that last that long.
Well, if it went according to plan, how long would we have been married, Cherise?
Oh, you said married? Wait,
what? Maybe we would have been in our 20th year.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
No, we had an agreement at one point.
Oh, I had one of those.
If we were not married by a certain amount of time, we would just get married.
Oh.
Yeah.
Has that time come?
I got married.
Bill got married.
Oh, he got married. Oh, so that's okay. Okay. So now that he's divorced, that doesn't count.
Bets off.
Bets off. Got it.
I had one of those agreements with a friend. I am so glad that one didn't happen either.
All right.
She's insane, but that's okay.
Let's bring this in. Let's bring this in. So Will had mentioned that you all have these amazing conversations about your list. You want to fill us in? Just give us a brief, just a brief story about that.
In our interactions as friends, and Kennery and Cherise and I and some other, I love the fact that we kind of have these more vigorous intellectual and philosophical discussions as friends, because the cool thing I like about it is that we don't all agree with it's not just an amen corner. And a subject that comes.
You're breaking up so much.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
You're breaking up a lot.
You're freezing.
Oh, no, somebody else talk.
No, because I like where you're going, but I'm trying to figure out what can we do.
I don't know what to do.
Get him a faster internet package.
Darlene, you can't hear. Darlene said she cannot hear. Cannot hear who?
You can't hear me? I'm loud.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're not the loudest person, but I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know why it's not loud. Can you hear me now?
A little bit more.
Yeah, it's everybody's saying you're
All
just
right.
breaking up. That's the connection.
I don't know if I should switch to a mic or
Maybe.
I always
maybe I should
use
Well,
switch.
does
statement.
Sharice, do you want to pick up where he left off?
Yeah, pick up
I'm
where
not really sure where he's going.
It
so
You
sounds
know,
so
Will's brain works. I never know exactly where he's going, but I can cut left or right. Wherever he goes, I can meet him.
Okay, okay.
so what I was saying is that Sharice has list of attributes, and we don't always agree on the philosophy of a checklist.
Okay.
That makes
always.
sense.
All right. So Sharice, what do you want to say about that?
I say that I think everybody has a checklist of the type of person they would prefer. However, very few people actually get everything on those lists. So yeah, I have preferences. Have I had all of those preferences? Absolutely not. I don't even think I've had 50% of my preference ever.
Okay. Are you dating?
I'm open, but I don't have anyone in mind right now.
Okay. Are you? Because I think the way Will introduced you before, he thought you were somewhat like me. Like
Okay.
I was married for 23 years
Okay.
and been divorced for 12. And I have not gotten into the dating scene because I'm scared.
No, she's
Mm.
I'm
Sure.
scared. Look, what'd you say, Will? Say it loud so I can hear you.
she ain't scared.
I'm scared. But anyway, but I'm the same way. Like, things that I want in a mate,
Mhm.
I'm like willing to, but the thing is just how do you find that? Let me hear from you, Kenry. What do you have to say about that?
Oh no.
What do
Well,
you?
here's the thing for me. I'm like you. I haven't really rolled back deep into the dating scene. I've gone out on a date or 7, with the same person, and then cut that off. The thing is, you're never going to get, if you have a list, you're never going to get everything on that list.
No.
The trick is, to me, is find out what attributes a person has that are the most important ones. And typically those most important ones will, if not, lend themselves to helping you create some of the other attributes, which they just may not have developed because they don't know that they're missing, or that they're not showing them all the time or using them. If you have the most important attributes covered, then usually that person is open to some of the other things that you're looking for in a person. You may not get it all. Like, for instance, you asked us to make.
Oh, wait, no. I'm gonna take that towards the end. Yeah. Let me see. The thing is, like how are you guys just opposed to a list?
I just don't.
Can I interject real quick? Char, can you put me back in video? It's not letting me use
Oh,
video.
okay.
Get back on.
Let's see. Tobias, can you help Sharice?
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Yes. So the ladies seem to be we're more open to writing out what it is that we want in a mate. And I honestly don't see anything wrong with that, because people are going on blind dates. And you're like literally walking in blind. You don't know what you're looking for. And I really just don't have time to play with folk,
But
Your
what's a
word.
blind date these days?
What'd you say?
What is a blind date these days?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the master dater.
No, I mean,
Master.
Will always has a dating story, so I imagine.
Are you a master dater, Phil? Will, are you a master dater?
He's got his master's in dating.
I got a master's degree in dating. Not really. I mean, I don't, because y'all don't know nothing about my actual personal life more than I do.
Yeah, exactly. You told me enough for me to know.
Right. You know, there'd be some people's. One of them's watching. Well, not. One of them just told me she's watching from another location.
Okay.
So I gotta watch. I gotta watch what I say.
Hello.
you know.
Right,
So
but if you can see the commentary, I'm looking.
Oh shoot! Look, it's like that.
Message. I just got a text message. Don't say my name.
I heard that.
We want initials.
Initials. Yes, Kennery.
So the verbiage that you use is very interesting. When you said lists, you said women seem to be more open. So you look at the fact that men don't have a list, generally speaking, as being closed, when it's more to the fact that there are attributes that men do want in women. We just don't generally think about it in the way of a list. It's kind of like that person shows up, we assess the attributes, we can see, and then we get to know. I mean, you might say you want one thing in your head, but we don't consciously write down lists of things we want in a woman per se. Men generally are just not programmed that way. So it's not a matter of openness or closeness. It's just differences.
You know how like when the new year is coming in and everybody is like getting ready, geared up for away with the old and in with the new, and you write your goals down, you write what you want. That's kind of, to me, that's what it is, because that's an area like relationship. It's something that I like to pursue. So I like to, because, okay, when I first got married, I went into it with nothing. I was so young anyway. I was like 19. So exactly, I didn't know anything. So I didn't know what I wanted. Well, now having gone through 23 years, I know what I want, and
you also know what you don't want, right?
Exactly. And so it's funny when I asked you all to send me a list of what you want in a mate, Sharice had no problem, but Will and Kennery.
That's to my point. That's to my.
She had one ready.
but listen,
I had a few lists ready. I needed clarity on which list to use.
She has a list for every occasion. She got
a list for
my girl. But it's funny when I shifted the Will wrote me back and said he had a hard time with that question. And so I reframed it. I asked him, I said, what is it you like about a woman and what you don't like, right? Was that how I said it, Will? I think that is how I said it. And then the list, he came up with the list.
It was like vomit.
And then Kennery, the same thing. So I'm going to put those up on the screen right now.
Oh. Lord have mercy. Whether it's a setup.
Let me see. You said it's a setup. You know me. You know what I do.
Setup, man.
You know what I do.
Talking to each other.
Because I want to see, we want to look in, a lot of times the discussion has been about men and women wanting or desiring different things. And it's amazing how much alike we are. Let me see. So Will's is.
Oh, wow. Could you send that to me? It looks so nice.
Right.
I'll send it to you. Yes. Let me see. I'm trying to read it. Where did I put yours, Will? Okay. So you admire women who are
intelligent.
You admire women who are intelligent, spiritually grounded, educated formally and informally, and mentally and physically fit. That's what you admire in women. And then I'm waiting for it to get to what you the things I do not like or don't deal with. Sorry, I put this a little too long.
I was gonna say that's a slow scroll. It's like a
That's
walk.
slow
Hey,
scroll.
Slow scroll.
hey,
Soak it in. Soak it in.
she's gonna parade you straight up.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. This is for
Right,
the
so
slow
listen.
readers. For the slow readers.
So the things that he does not like, that Will does not like or deal with, are women who are combative, transactional, fearful, and materialistic. Who's next? Sharice, I think.
Or who want me to act a fool at work.
Right, there you go. There you go.
Clapping.
Okay. So Sharice, the top 5 things I want in a mate: financial stability, protection, confidence, loyalty, someone with clear direction for his future. And the list, her 5 things that she doesn't want in a mate: someone with young children, unchecked mental issues, and unpacked baggage stemming from bad relationships, connection with family, and or no meaningful relationships.
I love the last one.
Unmotivated, no drive, a bum.
What you said?
That's making it plain.
It's a real thing.
Love too.
Real thing. It's a real thing. All right, Kennery. Kennery wants a true relationship with God. She has to have.
Hallelujah. All right.
Come on now.
Pastor.
Kindness, honesty, respect of self and others, empathy, sense of humor, passion and purpose, honest self-awareness, and the ability to self-reflect, open-mindedness, and flexibility. Now, Sharice, did I not ask for just 5? Did you notice?
did.
Look at these. Look at these lists.
See,
I couldn't get him to give me anything.
Mine was like 4.
here's the thing.
And I was
I don't put
struggling,
people
like
in
I should
boxes.
have an honorary list, like runner-ups, but I didn't.
Because I don't put people in boxes. There you go.
Oh my gosh. I just said the top 5. Anyway, things he does not want in a woman is conditional love, closed-mindedness, judgmental spirit, unforgiveness, a need for constant drama and or dependency on roles and hierarchy, a need to win or be right instead of to resolve and repair. I see a lot of stuff on that I like. How about you, Sharice?
I like those. I like both Kennery and Will's lists.
Yes. And mine
Yeah.
is so plain and simple. I'm easy to please. I really am. I need to feel loved. He has to have love for himself, and then he can love me. That's first. Physically, mentally, and spiritually fit, great communication skills, financial planning. Things that I don't want in a mate is, can I be narcissistic? Addictions, you have to work on that before we get together. Lazy, unmotivated, stuck, broke, lack of self-esteem.
And there's no working on addictions. I can't even know that you have any. You better have them in hand, so much so that they don't even really exist. So
They have to be functioning in that addiction.
and they have to
Right.
be non-threatening to yourself or to me. Like if you're addicted to cookie ice cream, then that's your thing.
So let's talk about each of our lists. Is there anything that you can actually maybe overlook?
Nope.
Do you remember?
I mean, my list is pretty short. And so I kind of really want to have the things that are positive, that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Of the things I'm not looking for, what can I'm trying to think,
You want me to send you? Let me send it to you.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I got my devices here.
Well, somebody.
So
Okay.
the material, the materialistic thing, I might be able to look over because I I like women who have a lot of style and flair.
Okay.
And so they're gonna like, they're into their clothes and fashion and stuff like, and shoes and all that other kind of stuff. So if they're kind of into that, that's not a deal killer,
Okay.
you know.
As long
But
as they have substance that goes with
exactly,
that.
Right.
Okay.
exactly,
Right.
because I don't want you to just be that, And then also, I wear regular clothes, and I, I don't own a Gucci belt. I don't even know what it is. And
Same here.
that's, I want my man to, but I've had women who say, I like a man who's well groomed. I like a man who dresses well. And I think I dress cool. And I never see you in any designer stuff, and that looks broke. And I was like, no, that means that you're paying somebody to look a certain way. Like this might be the only clothes I got on that I have on that I own, and I sleep in my car, in my nice Gucci suit or whatever. So, and that's one of my problems with lists in general is that sometimes when people just have these lists and they're public about those lists, it becomes a template for somebody to appear to be something they're not.
Right. Right. I agree with that.
All
I
I
agree
gotta
with
do
that.
is check off the things on this list. I put on a suit and some smell good. That might be the $20 I paid to get into a club might be the last $20 I have.
Mm.
Or I'm scared to get pulled over because I know I owe child support and I got a warrant. But I look good. But they look good. And women will be like, oh my God, I thought he was this, I thought he was that, because he checked off everything on my list.
You know what, Will? Here's the catch. Here's the catch. There are guys who have everything genuinely on some of those lists. They have everything, but they're still terrible people.
Right.
Well,
That's right.
that I ain't gonna criticize Sharice, but I'm gonna criticize Sharice because we've been fighting all for the 2 days anyway. The one thing, and then also it's the other, and also Char, I kind of noticed. I don't think that I saw. Well, you did put love, but I don't see anything about character, and that's always curious to me when women don't look for character
So can I
first.
explain that?
Sure.
So if you notice, I said love, loving himself, then he
Yeah.
can love me. The thing is, I feel like character is all up in that. If you love yourself,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Narcissists love themselves.
Not like that. That's not real love.
But they love themselves. That is.
That's
true.
not real love.
But you're defining it in a way that's pretty general. So that's the thing. I think it has to have more. If you're going to do a list, it should have more specific characteristics. What does that love look like? Because then you're almost saying, I don't really know what it looks like if I see it. I just want love, and if it's just love, it can come in
Not love.
shape and form. It doesn't have any definition to it.
But again, so like Will said, he doesn't like to usually, and I don't like to do that either. Putting a list out there because people will, pretend to be something that they're not. But I think if you're aware, you can kind of pinpoint, if somebody's not being honest or not, especially at our age. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody can really get over. We're not naive. We're not young.
Be surprised.
Really?
And you know what? Now, when I'm dating and having conversations with men, they will ask, "So what are you looking for?" And every time that question is asked, I always respond, "Well, if I tell you what I'm looking for, you'll become exactly what that is. So I'll tell you this: be who you are, and I'll let you know if I like it."
Mm. Woo. Oh my. So tell me what you found out on your because in your bio you were saying that you're I guess, are you doing research? What's happening in the dating over 50?
Honestly, I have not had any success in that area because men aren't dating. They're not dating. Like, if I have a lot of girlfriend groups, and in all of my girlfriend groups, the one similarity is that all of us who are mostly single are having issues with finding men or being available to men who honestly and actively want to date and not just slide in between the thighs. And when I say date, I mean plan an actual date, like have an agenda for this date. We're not just going to McDonald's to share a pack of small fries.
Not a small fry.
Small fries.
Not even a Happy Meal? I mean, really?
Small fries.
They got fry baskets now, but anyway.
They do have fry baskets, but yeah, no, let's not do that. But that's where I'm struggling. I'm struggling with coming across men that I'm interested in that are interested in actually in the process of dating.
Reese, you know what's interesting about that? That's something that, from my experience, years ago, was happening a lot with men, because a lot of women were, I think, in the process of building their lives the way they wanted their lives to be, and for lack of a better way of putting it, didn't want the interference of dating at that particular moment. You know, they're working on their careers or bettering self. So it and I never really took it so much as women don't want to date men. I took it as this is a moment in time where a lot of women are trying to find self. And I think that the men that are interested in dating for real, a lot of us are doing just that. Or, you know, because the ones that are serious and out there are already married. And
who you telling?
Because I have a lot of friends that are like that, but the singles amongst us who are not like actively pursuing, like beating our chests and running around and picking up women and carrying them to the cave, are kind of in a process of either healing or building. And so that's what you're seeing. It's not a lack. We're kind of taking a break because a lot of what's been happening in the last 10 years has just made it so that we don't know exactly what's happening out there with you all. I mean, it sounds simple to go out and date, but it has not been simple at all. There's a lot of undertones and things that we're running into when we do go out with women that are kind of confusing. So we just pull back again. It's like, all right, maybe it's me, maybe it's them. I don't know.
It turns into that I can't please you thing. Like, women are very adept at planning things with each other. You know, like I see the girlfriend groups and they're going on trips and they're, you know, going to restaurants and they're having a great time. And
I feel triggered.
it's, but the thing about
is he talking about you?
This is gonna be very Sharice specific tonight.
I'm solid, but as my dad used to say, no, but it is the thing of, okay, I've had women say, hey, look, I can go do that with my girls. What you got for me? You know, I remember talking on the phone recently to a young lady, and she was like, well, what is your idea of a perfect evening or perfect date? And I said some variation of going to see something cultural and having a great dinner and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, my idea is, I don't know where we're going. You tell me to pack a bag and we go to the airport and we fly here and we do this. Now, mind you, I've never met this individual in person.
Wow.
She wants to make sure you're not flying into Gary.
Is this an
Rockford.
inside joke?
Rockford. Like, we're flying up to Rockford.
We're going to Paris, baby. Paris, Illinois.
Illinois, baby.
The Piatone. We're going out to the Piatone airport. No, but that was the thing, and and I played it off, but I'm like, okay, I'm about to play Casper with you, sis, because what's that? And I had to ask you. So this is a regular practice. This is something somebody said. No, I've never had that. None of my friends have ever had that. This is just something in my mind that I see that I want to do. And I was like, "You're dating Jeff Bezos? Who are you? And who's going to make that type of like? That's a lot."
What will what that comes from? So here's where those differences come in, Char and Shreeve. Girls are taught directly, indirectly, however, a vision of what romance and men and all that stuff should look like. So there are a lot of preconceived ideas. That's why it's so easy for some women to come up with those kind of
Say that again.
That's why it's easy for a lot of women to come up with those kind of scenarios, realistic or not, because you all are taught, envision your wedding. This is what I want for my wedding, or I want to look like this, or I want to do. It's something that you all are taught. The only thing we go with is go out and find a woman. We don't get all that stuff and that's why. Now, understand, I'm not saying that as a compliment to you all.
Why not?
I'm saying it because you're looking at a vision.
What does that sound? Sorry. There's a sound that's interfering with your.
With mine?
I don't know where it's coming from.
No, that's my room is quiet. I'm not.
Okay.
Is that my stomach?
Sorry. You're
I'm
good.
here.
But that's
there it is again.
I don't know what that is. It's not.
You hear it on Kennery?
I hear it in general.
Yeah, I hear it, but I don't know where it's coming from.
That's somebody's mic. The.
Let me see if I turn mine. If I mute, because I have my.
Nope, still here. It sounds like a jack that's already not all the way in.
Henry, I want you to finish your thought, but there's two questions or two comments I want to acknowledge in the chat.
Can you hear me?
But go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you go.
Oh, no, you're low. You're real low.
Okay. Better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying that teaches you all to look for a vision, thus the list versus an individual. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you all kind of get it from the beginning that you're looking for a package that has certain attributes that may not all come together, versus we meet an individual woman and then we layer by layer we find out who she is.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Look. Hold on. So Sandy said it's a fairy tale, like little girls. We grow up and we have this. It's like Cinderella, Snow White, my knight in shining armor. All that stuff. But I think Say what you just said about how you all approach finding a woman.
I mean, so
Get him.
Will.
So what I got from what he said is that men in general take what the woman is and find something that they can work with.
Find something to work with?
That's
part of the problem is that old cliche about men find women and want them to stay the same, and women find men and want them to change. That is kind of a thing. So we'll find a woman who has, I can work with this, I can, I'll deal with this, but only if she stays just like this. And when she starts changing,
Mm,
it can become an issue because you're like, well, where's that woman I married? She
right,
doesn't,
right.
she doesn't act that way. What happened?
Under,
And that's, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just going to piggyback on what you said. I understand that change and growth are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
What does that look like?
I
Break that
mean,
down a little bit.
What?
Change and growth.
Well, as a person, you should always be growing as an individual. If you're in a relationship, you should still be growing as an individual. So your core person should always stay the same. So if there's anything that's perceived as change, it has to be drastic enough that that person doesn't recognize you anymore. To me, that's change. Growth is something that, you learned a new skill set about yourself. You add it to who you already are. If you're intelligent, inquisitive person who likes the outdoors, that's not going to change when you grow, because you grow, you might add, and I found out I love skydiving. So you're just kind of growing things, but you're not changing your core being. I
Okay.
can still count on you to, watch my kids. I don't distrust you from watching my kids because you grew. But if you change, then, that's a different story.
Okay. Sharice, you have anything to add to that?
No, I generally agree with Kennery's assessment with the differences between growth and change. And I think for me, I'm always looking for individuals or men who have growth potential. So for instance, if we come into a relationship and he's at a certain level, but I can see, or in our conversations, I can see he has a desire to do better. And that was actually one of my points where I'm looking for someone who has direction for his future. I can, whatever it is that he needs to do in order to reach those levels of growth to get to where it is that he needs to go, I'm with that. Now, if he completely changes who
Right.
he is that I fell in love with,
Right.
that can be problematic if it's
Right.
not a change for the better.
Exactly.
But you know what's funny about this, and this is because I have a lot of female friends. One
Yes,
of
you
the things,
do.
one of the
I agree.
one
Okay.
one of the things that I caution my female friends about is not dealing with the person who's actually sitting in front of you and becoming more invested in that potential than they should. Because at a certain point and at a certain age, now that I'm middle aged, firmly middle aged, sometimes you 40, 45, 50, you ain't, we all can grow and change. We all can grow and, realize ourselves better. But sometimes that's who you dealing with.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I have
What you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
I have a saying for that. It is love my present, not my potential.
That's it.
But is that a healthy
Yes.
mindset? No, let me finish.
Full stop. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
No, really. I think we all have the potential to grow at any age. Like you don't have to become stuck. And that's one of my things. It's like, because again, when I was younger, I'm so much different. There's still the core me. But of course, most of you know my story. So it's like my identity was shattered and I had to learn who I am, which I think is what saved me from getting stuck. because I'm always like, okay, what else is there? What other new thing can I find about myself? So, but I think with a mentality though, we don't have to just say, okay, this is me. Try new things, like be adventurous, go outside, think outside your box. I mean, some people like to stay in that box, but are you, go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
No, I'm just saying, are you willing to grow in other areas, especially when it comes to having a mate, are you just going to have somebody who is just like you, or do you know what I'm saying?
But here's what
Sharice got something to say. Go ahead, Kennery, and then Sharice.
That takes me back to the difference between change and growth. I'm not talking about, when I say love my present, not my potential, I've got no control over it except for the effort to always become better. So if you don't like who you see in front of you, and you're always constantly looking forward to who you think I should be in 3, 5, 7, 10 years, then you're missing the opportunity to love me right now. We're trying to have a relationship right now. We can plan and we can build and we can grow ourselves as individuals and as a couple. But if it precludes the idea that you're meeting somebody because of who they are right now. I mean, when I meet somebody, I'm looking at who you are right now, and I'm going to make the best choice I can based on what I can see of who you are right now. So I'm not worried about future you, because future you may have something that happens to you that you didn't expect, so
what if you get sick? What if you get sick?
Right.
Those are things beyond your control, though.
But
getting sick.
But if your attraction is based on potential in the positive only, or you only look at this thing that's sitting right in front of you like that, then there's no contingency for illness. There's no contingency for job loss.
Okay, say let's just say, well, Sharice, I know this is going all over the place. Go ahead, Sharice.
Go ahead, keep going.
So let's say a healthy us, okay? Healthy you, healthy me. Mm-hmm. How much are you willing to try new things and adjust, not change? Because I've never been one to try to change anybody, because I understand that we're all unique, but growing, so like me, I love to play. I love to laugh. I love riding bikes. I love to, I'm outgoing, but I'm not I don't like to mingle in crowds, but I love to hike. I mean, all those things. If I'm with a mate or somebody who doesn't like those things, then that's frustration on both sides.
That's why I say if you're in the present, you're choosing wisely. You're already choosing someone who has a lot of those qualities in them already. Hopefully that's how you're making your choice. You're making a smart choice, not based on, well, I want to learn and grow new things and I need you to be that same type of person. But hopefully you are choosing someone who already has that mentality. I mean, they are who they are right now in the present, but that present person is somebody who does like to try new things. So that's why I'm saying you have to understand the individual more than the list of things. You have to know who that person right there in front of you in the present is. You can't, if they have quality of character that says, I like to laugh a lot, I like to travel, I like to try new things, then you're all right. You have that person. But that's why you have to choose that type of person, and that involves their character.
Thanks. Sharice, we have 10 minutes.
Well, I can't even remember what I was about to say, so.
Okay. Let me, if it comes back, let me know, okay? Because I had narcissism on my list, and somebody wrote, do you know what healthy narcissism is?
No such thing.
Sandy, do you want to come on screen?
There is.
Please explain.
Psychologically, there is.
Well, if you're doing the psychological,
Sandy?
There's a particular type of narcissism that's orientated around focus on purpose.
Right, okay,
So-
let me explain it.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, 1 minute, Sandy. Let Will go ahead. Finish.
No,
Will?
Sandy's an actual counselor. So
Okay, go ahead, Sandy.
put it better than I can.
Narcissism is self-love, right? By definition. And when it goes too far, then it becomes like Narcissus at the pool. All he can see is the image of himself. Healthy narcissism, it would be something like, you know, you're hungry, so you feed yourself and you're taking care of yourself. Or you're thirsty and you get water. You're not doing it to the exclusion of others, but you don't expect your mate to do that for you either. So you take care of the things you can take care of, and they take care of the things they can take care of. And then the two of you combined to repair things you need the both of you for. That's the difference between a narcissist who's out there and crazy and someone who knows how to take care of themselves. You know, like go to the market and get the milk. Is that exclusively a male's job or a woman's job? No. You have skills.
So what you're saying is we all are narcissists.
Narcissist, right?
Damn right. Look at a 4-year-old.
No, I'm looking at the dictionary, but go ahead, finish. I'm going to read this definition. Go ahead.
Look at a 4-year-old. That 4-year-old has the right to feel that he's the center of the universe, because when he asks mommy to feed him, that's who has to do it. He knows when he's hungry, but he can't fix the food. So as you grow, you learn to pick up skills that you can take up on your own, and you have a partner for things that require two people. Love making is a huge one.
Yes.
Sharing expenses on a big expensive trip, choosing a house, what car to drive. Those are huge partner type involvements, but they're also involving money. I'm talking about just everyday stuff. Now go ahead and read your definition.
So it says narcissist. Uh-oh, what just happened?
Who knows?
I still see you. Oh, there.
I think Tobias,
Yep.
you know what? Tobias, you're the bomb. Okay, an individual showing symptoms of or affected by narcissism, such as an extremely self-centered person who has an exaggerated sense of self-importance.
Mhm.
A person affected with narcissism. Oh wait, I think that's the only definition I see. Thank you, Tobias. There's another one.
well, it's more or less.
So listen to this one that I found. Thank you so much for that. Inordinate fascination with oneself, excessive self-love or vanity.
Okay.
Erotic gratification derived from admiration of one's own physical or mental attributes being a normal condition at the infantile level of personality development. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Personality development.
Well, the thing is that, as I said, a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old have a right to feel like they're the center of the universe, which is basically the core of narcissism. I'm it. Everybody owes me. I am the king. You're the slave. Period. Boom. That's when it gets in human development. If they are not taught things like it's not your turn, you have to wait for your Christmas present, your sister is opening. If those things are not taken care of at an early level, what happens is they evolve into what you just read about. That is unhealthy or toxic narcissism. We all know several of them in our lives. They drive us crazy. They're the ones that you arrange to go to meet somewhere, whether it's a friend or a date, and they're always late. They're always late because their time is more important than yours.
Mhm.
It's a chip away at your own sense of what agreement is. If we agree to meet at 6:00, there's some leeway, probably 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
When they start showing up a half an hour late on a regular
Right.
basis, and if you don't take care of yourself and address it, then you're just allowing them to remain the way they are.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly.
Well,
I was- Huh?
So as their self-aggrandization grows, their respect for others diminishes.
Oh, yes. And if that becomes very, very widespread, I believe we've had someone in a serious office who functions like that every day. And so,
Yeah. Right. We won't talk about that. We will not
Right.
defile this
Get
screen.
political here.
We will not defile this meeting.
We will not talk about Bruno. We don't talk.
Well,
We will not.
and what is a grown-up? What is, and when you're talking about things like, what was there something I wrote down here? You're talking about men, Kennery, you have a tendency, and it's really cute the way you do it. You generalize in a way that is, it makes me get the creeps. I go, not everything, not all men do this, and not all women do that. What happens is men and women are pretty much acculturated the same way. We all watch the same movies. We all watched, we all watched Snow White, and the boys are looking at the guy on the horse. They're not much caring about what's happening with the girl until the end. But we all see those same things. It's all in what we're told as a child, as what's important, what's relevant. I watched my son go from a very naturally loving boy to becoming this really sarcastic piece of work. And mostly because his dad always referred to me as, you know, your mom, she's not very smart. You know,
So
the
wait,
truth is,
I need to go back to I give you the creeps.
Oh, gosh.
I just started to get that feeling in my skin, like, oh, it sounds rigid. I don't know that it is. I'm checking this out with you. That when you generalize that way and say, well, men tend to do this, and men, there may be tendencies, but that's like stereotyping in the worst kind of way.
Experience. That's big experience being a man.
Right.
That's what it is.
And your experience as a man is relevant in and of itself. It doesn't have to be compared with all other men.
But you're
We have common, but as men, we have common experiences, and one of my major issues is that is not acknowledged anymore.
there we go.
Say that again. Say that again, Will.
That we have common experiences as men, and currently in the current climate, that's not acknowledged anymore because.
Can you give me an example of that?
No, well, it's the whole toxic masculinity.
Oh, okay. Okay. With the Will Smith thing? Oh, God.
I mean,
got that.
but what happened with Will has nothing to do with masculinity, first of
Right.
all. It had everything to do with ego and unresolved childhood trauma.
Mhm.
He saw his mother his father beat his mother.
Mm.
He is openly stated as a little boy, he felt helpless and he couldn't do anything about it. And now, in his mind, I have to protect my wife,
Mhm.
and I'm going to be inappropriate because I was triggered in an emotional moment. And also, when you have a toxic, careful.
Go ahead and say it, man.
Will,
No,
don't lose Will,
toxic,
Will.
yeah.
Will, don't lose your point, please. Hold on to that for a minute. I have to close out because it's 8:00. But I still want to continue this for whoever wants to stay. Before we go, I just want to have the audience members tell me, what was it? What it is that you look for in a mate. Just give me two things, if you want to.
Integrity, honesty,
Okay.
two top.
All right. Darlene, Patricia, Kim, Attila. I don't know who that is. They just came in. Anybody have anything to say? Nobody has anything to say. Okay. We can continue, but we're going to end the live stream. Okay.
That's
Can I cuss now?
is looks like somebody that shouldn't be here.
Oh, really?
Hi.
Should I get them out?
Someone said they
Tobias,
couldn't
can you
unmute.
get rid of that person? I don't know who that is.